Hey there guys, ever want to replace those old beat up door handles that you don't like? Either you don't like the style or you don't like the color. Well, today we're going to show you all how to do that. It's simple, doesn't require a lot of tools, and you can do it fairly quickly and for the most part pretty inexpensively. So we're going to show you how to replace your door handle and your deadbolt if this happens to be a exterior door. Alright, as you can see, we have an exterior door here. It's got just the regular door handle and a deadbolt. So I'm going to go ahead and do a video and show you guys how to do both of those. Cover both at the same time. So first thing you want to do, I go ahead and put the handle on first. Get your parts out, find everything. Here's what you're going to have. You need to figure out which one's your deadbolt, which is this one, and just your regular striker. See how that is, and it pushes in and out. Your door handle will always go on the bottom. Just kind of open it up and it's going to go in there. See how it's already got the hole for it. Make sure it's put in there this way so when it goes to hit that, it automatically makes it close, because I've not paid attention before. Put one in backwards and it does not close very well. So I go ahead and put that in. And alright, so you can use a screwdriver or a screw gun. Doesn't matter, whichever that you have. I go use a screw gun because it's a little bit faster, but either one will work. Well, if I can get it in. Don't over tighten it, just run it up. Alright, so next will be your actual door handle that you're going to use to open the door. You're going to have two sides. Make sure you have an in and out. Obviously you won't put your lock part on the inside, because if not, anybody can lock the door from the outside. You get this in, you'll see there's a groove on this thing. There's a groove right there. To get that through, you got to push that in. See how that moves it just a little bit. So you line that up with it. Let me show you what we got here. Piece gets lined up. Push that. And allows it to come through. It puts your two screw holes right there on each side of it. Okay, then you're going to grab your door handle. See your design there? You want to get that shape lined up with this one where it'll slide on. Usually if it won't go, you just kind of spin this here, because that won't let it go. Sometimes the lock. Then you grab your screws that come with it. You kind of just put these in. Try to put them in as straight as you can. Alright, there's one of them. Just get it started so that way it doesn't back out on you. Grab your other one. Same thing. You can kind of start them with your screwdriver if you like. Now once again, you can use a screwdriver or you can use a drill. Alright, those are both in there, so I'm going to grab my drill and run them in there a little quicker. I do a little bit on each side. Don't do all of it at once. Just run them up to where they're tight. Once I'm tight. And if you run it too tight, I've saw it where you run it too tight and you'll close it and you'll let go of this, but this will kind of stick in. Just barely bump your screws back out. So, because sometimes you'll have it too tight and it won't allow that striker to pop back out, because that's what you want. So when it latches over here, hits it, pops back out, and that's what keeps your door closed. All right, so next we want to grab the striker plate for this door. gonna be this bottom one right here, and you want to put it on. Usually they're notched out. They're already notched out typically on your door. You just want to stick it in there like so. So you'll have that hole right there for your striker to go in. And you just take your screws, 2 screws again, run them in here. Now usually what I like to do before I put them both in, because sometimes everything always doesn't line up 100% perfect, is I like to go and close the door one time and see how well it latches. That caught really well. There's not all kinds of wiggle room. So that right there, so now I know that is in the correct position. So I'll go ahead and put my other screw in. Because if not, if you go and run both screws in and it's not right, and sometimes it's just barely off, then it's a pain in the rear end to try to get a screw to go, because you already have a hole there and it wants to keep going back in the same hole. Alright, just tilts tight. Alright, so your door handle's done. Now we're going to do the deadbolt. Alright, same thing, pretty easy. Obviously, key part, keyed hole is on the outside, thumb turn is your inside. So we're going to open the door. See if we can't. Actually, first we got to put the deadbolt in. Look on here too, they'll always have usually an up or a down, an up arrow rather. So you want to make sure that's up. That in there. Grab your 2 screws. Run them in like so. All right, now we want to grab our piece here. You want to line these up. So you see that little point right there? That's where your, see that little notch right here? It's going to run through there either sideways or up and down. We can adjust that with a thumb turn here in a minute. First, let's just get it through there. Check to see you have a, on the back side of your thumb turn, got that slot, so you want that slot to go in that bar. And you just kind of rotate that there. See how I have my holes are up and down, left and right, about 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock. That's where your holes will be over here. So you're going to take your big long screws, these big long bolts. These are going to run through. Like I said, they're sometimes a little tricky to get there, but just try to run it as straight as you can. You'll feel when it starts to grab and actually thread onto the other side. Just get one started. Once you get them started, grab your drill or your screwdriver. Just kind of barely start them, make sure they're threading right. You'll feel the back side of it starting to tighten up. That way you know it's pulling it together. Alright, just when they're tight, you can spin that right there. See your deadbolt come out. Flip it back. Alright, go over here. We know the bottom latch is right. We already tested that, so let's test our top deadbolt before we put the plate on. You can see in between the door there, it goes in. Everything goes right in the hole. And remember guys, why hire a guy when you can DIY? Thanks.